I'm Juliet Caton and I present the VocalScope podcast, which is about all things voice. And today I want to introduce you to a very exciting new project. If you are a singing teacher, a vocal coach, a voice practitioner, you will know how important it is for us all to stay on top of our game, to be up to date with the latest thinking, knowledge and research. And that's initially why I set up the podcast. I wanted to create a show that discussed current and relevant voice-related topics with experts in their fields, whilst also digging deeply into the lives and career paths of professional singers and practitioners. And I love presenting it. I'm by no means a serial weekly diehard podcaster, but when I come across a topic or a practitioner with a story that I feel is really interesting or needs to be heard, I make an episode. And what I've learned through that is that you can only take the learning process of the listener so far. Now, I'm also a really passionate gardener. Bear with, because this will all make sense. So through my forays into gardening and growing to feed myself and my family, I came across on Instagram and joined a gardener's book club. And through that, discovered the joys of reading a book at the same time as other people who are as keenly learning as I am, and then discussing it along the way and afterwards, and then sharing ideas of how we're all going to use that knowledge to enrich our growing. And it was whilst I was experiencing this, I suddenly realised this is the process that I have been so hungry for, but with the voice. Because we're all so isolated in our learning, really, aren't we? Now more than ever. Which is why and how, you see, I told you it would all make sense eventually, I came up with the idea of the VocalScope Book Club. So in the book club, you will get to nominate and vote for the book of the month. And whilst we're reading and discussing and digesting it together, we'll also build a list of questions and discussion points that we want to put to the author. And at the end of the month's read, I'll host an online event where we'll invite the author of the month to speak with us and to answer our questions. And then we'll also get really real and practical about how we can maximise the impact this new learning can have on our work in our respective studios, clinics, practices, conservatoires, choirs, institutions, wherever we work. We'll actively create and share ways in which that can happen. We'll be able to consider, what does this area of my work now look like, both semantically and practically? So come and join me on this really exciting journey. Let's read, let's question, let's analyse, let's dissect. Let's not just fill in our knowledge gaps, but let's expand our knowledge in a really fun, social, connected and practical way. Look for the link, wherever it is, and sign yourself up.